Thank you, Sagittarius, for joining me for your new moon reading. This particular Aquarian new moon, sidereal Vedic zodiac, is falling in your third house of communication. Well, the way I'm interpreting it as a Saturn-ruled, Mercury-influenced houses, that communication in your neighborhood, in your familiar groups, your cousins, your siblings, your kin, aunts, uncles, parents, grandparents kind of thing. Not as much your parents, but all the other ones, all your other relationships, being influenced because of the Aquarian moon falling under Saturn's influence and Neptune and Mercury also being here, communicating with any of those people. And any communication whatsoever. I'm choosing to look at this new moon as an opportunity for aligning the egoic self with the eternal self, because it is a lunar opportunity for us to end the wars that we see outside of us by ending the wars within, right? The internal struggle is projected upon the world, and that's why we see the world like we see the world. It's definitely our own inner landscape being played out before us, as much as we don't like to think of it that way. I think Aquarians' influence for the greater good and the utility of the whole makes it necessary that we own our part in what we see outside of us that we don't like. And the only thing that we have any influence on is our relationship between ourself and ourself. And anyway, it's always good to get to know your soul. The Golden Thread Tarot would like you to see the Knight of Pentacles. And this is our slow-moving, duty-bound, responsible knight. It's not going to get done in 5 minutes, but it's going to get done, right? This guy will do what needs doing. And whether that duty or obligation is to the world outside or to yourself, this reading may show, but he is assurance that the work will get done, that the creative willpower will be there to do it. It's just that you're a little unsure about what that willpower should go toward, right? The Two of Pentacles is our juggler card. The balance and keeping things in balance and maybe finding the time to do the work that needs to be done is challenging. And it's not been the most easy thing to bring into concord, but it is a symbol of self and self. This is a symbol of universal self and egoic self coming into balance, and that is the work, and that is good news. Now we're going to do a Celtic spread with the Rider WAITE cards, and I'm choosing a signifier right now because that's what the spread requires. The signifier is the cards or spirit's interpretation of you at this moment, and it's given us this beautiful Queen of Cups. So she is the compassionate queen, the queen of calm. Her emotional comfort radiates out from her. She gives emotional comfort to others. And that is lovely, Sagittarius. Lovely way to be depicted in a reading. Let's see how it serves you here. You are covered by the Hanged Man. And this is martyrdom. So it may not serve to be so very compassionate toward others, but this sort of self-sacrifice has served certain martyrs quite well, others not so much. It is a major arcana card though, so it signifies that there will be a change in this arena. If the Queen of Cups influence, the emotional influence here is not entirely balanced, it might be difficult, but the Hanged Man can also symbolize release after a period of waiting. And it's entirely possible that this Queen of Cups and her compassion and emotional radiance, her emotional comfort that she gives to other people, in some way, needs to be released. Either released to the people that she cares about, or she needs to be released from the people that she cares about. The card that crosses you is the Queen of Material Security. She ordinarily represents the height of her suit in its feminine form. So security, the material world, nature in feminine mastery. So she's like practical, and she represents creature comforts, and she's certainly, surrounded by all the beauty of financial security right there. But we're reading her as an obstacle card in this card. So she more closely relates to the reversal, the self-centeredness, the jealousy. Sometimes there can be smothering or selfishness. And if that is what's happening in the emotional radiation from the Queen of Cups, it looks like there will be a release and a change from that obstacle. It is crowned by the Ace of Cups. So this is a new emotional beginning involving, creativity and intuition, the kind of impetus of new feelings. That actually is a really good way to describe what I'm seeing here right now, is that there are new feelings coming onto the scene. There may be some jealousy surrounding them, but it's about new feelings of spirituality. There could be a new intuition or a new connection, and a force acts against that, either within you or without you. There's a change in the way that some form of emotional connection is being seen. And it's founded in celebration, emotional celebration. So look at the play of the cards here. Look at the play of the cups here. We're definitely building some sort of an emotional foundation from the ace in the new feelings, the new spirituality, this kind of new connection or new intuition, and then moving toward friendship and community and happiness. And what kind of stands in the way of that, or stands as an obstacle to it, is some form of jealousy, possessiveness, like a self-centeredness is what I'm getting. But that the word smothering kind of keeps coming up as well. In the past, we have completion. So, maybe there was a relationship here that you thought was a done deal, and things have changed because life moves on and everything in these cycles moves with it. And there's a new celebratory energy that has some form of a drag on it. It could be that you don't feel like you can move with the new energies that are coming through because of prior obligations or, prior completions. But the World, as a major arcana card, the second in this reading, is one of the most positive cards in the whole deck. It's incredibly harmonious. So that can be a really hard thing, right? When there's a harmonious situation, a loving situation, an emotional and intuitive situation that is ripe and mature and very feminine, and then it is fulfilled in its harmony and then completed, and it may be time to move on, and there's some form of energy, some natural willpower that doesn't want to move with it. And it looks like it causes some consternation in the road ahead. It could just be like unconscious sabotaging, because the moon can be that way, but this is your third major arcana card in the reading. And that leads me to believe that there are larger forces at work here, that moon, that unconscious, illusory, also connected to intuition type of energy is what's pulling you forward. There's a new emotional impulse, and perhaps a past material situation is constellated against it. There's the possibility that there's some martyrdom there, but it also is kind of a celebration of, a new mastery or a new journey ahead. I always like to think that this poor crustacean that has all this miles of new territory before it is, it's pretty reasonable to be fearful and afraid and knowing that you don't know. But boy, that's appealing. And staying generally embedded or jealously guarded in a situation of martyrdom or even codependency, which, the Queen of Cups can be if she's not loving. And the presence of this jealousy here makes me think that possibly that's happening. Maybe your soul just wants to be free. But you're going to take a moment, and you're going to think about it. You're going to reflect, you're going to contemplate. You're very much in your thoughts about this, but it doesn't look like, they're not anxious thoughts. It's just contemplation. This is one of my favorite cards. It's rest. When you're not sure what to do and there's a whole lot of large energies pulling on you, it's a good idea to respond and not react. And this is my respond and not react card. You may want to withdraw, especially from jealous energies. And that makes perfect sense to me because jealousy never works the way you think it will, does it? The Five of Wands. This card has come up a lot in these new moon readings. This is my kerfuffle card. Minor arguments, checking out boundaries, not seriously fighting, more like play fighting. It's young puppy energy, in my opinion. It's like, when a toddler grabs something and they're doing something wrong, but they're doing it so that you'll look at them and set a boundary and show them that you care by your negative attention. It's that kind of thing. There's definitely a boundary here that's being tested, being crossed, being explored. Not a bad thing, just all around you at the moment. You're taking a step back, but it's definitely present in your environment. Your hopes and fears are the Knight of Cups, that you can move forward with this emotional energy in a way that seems prosperous to you, romantic to you, that seems like you're following your heart, Sagittarius. It looks like you are trying to get your heart involved in a situation of completion, in a situation that maybe needs a new perspective in order to move from the world to the moon. That's actually a really good way of putting it. It's like you're trying to move from a completed, fulfilled, harmonious world that you already know into a lunar landscape of unconscious illusion, intuition, possibly projection of fear, something that you haven't done before, but you want to do it. You want to lead with an open heart. And I can't recommend that highly enough. It's the best protection. To proceed with an open heart is my goal. I really feel like that's one of my biggest goals, and it's also my biggest challenge. It's very hard to keep your heart open in this world, and it looks like you have that cup out in front of you. It doesn't surprise me. A Sagittarian could pull it off, right? You have your beliefs in a cup. You know what idealism, romanticism, and following one's heart should mean. It looks like you're going to be doing that in your communication, in your local landscape, with whatever relationship is represented here. And the outcome is the Page of Swords. Is one who studies, a thought-driven youth. Now this young energy of curiosity, restlessness, and chattiness can sometimes be like testing, like spying, like scientific, like you're trying to figure something out as you move from the world to the moon. Something is being jealously guarded, however. It has something to do with cups. It has something to do with emotions and intuition. It has something to do with leading with an open heart. However, the method that's being described with this Page of Swords is not open-hearted energy. This is mental energy. And it is mental to the point of scrutiny. This is mental to the point of scrutiny. This is about beliefs, not leading with an open heart. This is about whatever came of taking a step back, whatever came from revisiting your beliefs about a situation, whatever came from that is possibly steering the boat in the outcome card. I think, however, you might do better to deal with your fears around proceeding with an open heart. This guy can be a spy, and this guy can conceal himself while he learns, and that's not open-hearted enough to protect you. If somebody finds out about that, then the consequences of that will not be good. Always proceed in a way that gives you honorable results if you have the choice, if you have a chance. And it looks like, you're testing the boundaries. Of the two, I would choose the Knight of Cups. Bottom of the deck and the energy, well, this makes sense to me. That the energy that guides the entire reading is one of disillusionment and disappointment. Perhaps the emotional open-heartedness has not satisfied you in a way that you hoped it would. Maybe you're just apathetic to the situation, or you're contemplating a new way forward out of a sense of disconnectedness. Both of these kind of feel that way to me, and I know that that's something that can affect Sagittarians very deeply, is just not feeling it, not feeling the emotional connection, feeling like maybe it's over, it's past. There was a martyrdom there, it did not serve, and no amount of jealousy or fear of the future is going to keep you from going a direction that you think is best. Maybe this is one of those times where the head has to win out over the heart. It's your reading, so you'll have to make up your own mind about it. I wish the heart would win, but it doesn't always. And sometimes that's the plan, especially when we're talking about dealing with the soul. As much as, soul is a soft science, and we don't generally understand the ways of spirit here in the material plane, sometimes thought wins, sometimes thought is the way of the soul. And that can definitely be the case here. I hope you'll let me know what you think, and that you have a way to apply this to your world. I hope it serves. Our medicine card, one more pair of cards to give us some insight into the meaning of your reading here. My oldest and most beloved deck. She says, fear. Rabbit. Rabbit represents the same thing that the moon does to a certain degree. This feeling of the world is very, very large and I am very small. And I sure hope you don't eat me. Fear is a bit of a negative prayer. It's not something that we want to focus on as we proceed forward. It is normal. It is natural. It does show itself as we cross thresholds, like the moon says you're doing right now. But it shouldn't drive the car. It should not be the way that we move forward. There are times when you can't avoid it, but still. On the other side, the teacher, maybe even Rabbit's teacher. Wolf has all 4 feet on the ground. This is a grounded, instructive, wise energy. And I feel like that's there for you, Sagittarius, as you navigate your way between your heart and your head in unknown, unconscious territories, deciding not to be a martyr, deciding not to stay or remain in a jealous, stultifying, smothering way or a smothering relationship to yourself. Moving forward onto a new landscape with a good guide and a good teacher and a healthy amount of fear. Makes sense to me. The Knight of Pentacles says that you'll get this work done. No one said it was easy work, and there's going to be some deliberation between head and heart here. But I think you'll make the right choices. I think the energy of love is very strong in this reading, and so may it be very strong with you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions. And thank you for your attention, sharing this beautiful reading with me. Very thought-provoking, very intriguing about how your relationship to yourself and the community around you may change over the next 28 days. Enjoy your lunar cycle. See you next month.